You are welcome to my channel. Today we are going to talk about the meningeal layer of the brain. Now, the meningeal layers of the brain consist of the dura mater, the arachnoid mater, and the pia mater. Now, let me draw a structure of the brain. This is the central nervous system, the brain and the spinal cord. Now, like I said, the meningeal layer consists of, first of all, we have the pia mater. The pia mater lines the brain and the spinal cord. It is a very soft matter that lines the brain and the spinal cord. The word pia mater actually means soft, modern. It is very soft, very delicate, and then it has a lot of blood vessels. Now the next matter is actually known as the arachnoid mater that lines the pia mater. Now the arachnoid mater actually has what we call trabecula. So it is trabeculated, and this makes it to look like a spider web. So it has lots of trabecula. It has lots of trabecula that makes it to look like a spider web. So this internal one is called the pia mater, which is soft, and then this other one is called the arachnoid mater. The arachnoid mater actually lines the pia mater. Now, the next one is actually called the dura mater. So the dura mater is actually a tough matter. Now, the word dura means tough. Dura mater means tough mother. So the dura mater is actually a tough layer. It is made up of the tough connective tissue that actually protects the brain. So I repeat again, the first matter that lines the brain is the pia mater. The pia mater actually lines the substance of the brain. And then the second layer is the arachnoid mater. The arachnoid mater has lots of trabecula that makes it to look like a spider web. And then the third layer is actually known as the dura mater. Now let us look at this particular diagram. From this diagram, we observe that this is the substance of the brain, and then there's a layer that actually lines the substance of the brain. That layer is known as the pia mater. It is known as the pia mater. And then there's another layer that lines the pia mater. That layer is called the arachnoid mater. And then there's another layer that lines the arachnoid layer. That layer is actually called the dura mater. Now, the dura mater consists of two layers. Now, the first layer lines the skull. We call that layer the endostele layer. The endostele layer lines the internal surface of the skull and then continues outward as the periosteum. So internally we have the endosteum, externally we have the periosteum. Now the endosteum actually constitutes one of the layers of the dura mater, and that particular layer is called the endosteal layer. Some persons will call it the periosteal layer. Now the next layer, the other layer is known as the meningeal layer. Now you observe that. Now from this diagram, you observe that this is the skull bone. Now the dura mater lines the skull bone. Now, like I said, the dura mater consists of two layers. The first layer that lines the skull bone is called the endosteal layer, or you can call it the periosteal layer. Now, at some point, this layer, the two layers actually separate, forming what we call the dura sinuses. So this is the endosteal layer or the perosteal layer, and then this other layer is called the meningeal layer. The meningeal layer actually continues down to the spinal cord, whereas the endosteal layer actually ends at the foramen magnum and continues as the perosteum of the skull. Now there are spaces within this meningeal layer. The first space is actually called the epidural space. Now the epidural space is also known as the extradural space. It is the space that is above the dura mater. It is above the dura mater. Then we have another space that is called the subdural space. Now that space is actually below the dura mater. There is another space that is called the subarachnoid space. The subarachnoid space is actually below the arachnoid matter, and the subarachnoid space actually contains what we call the cerebrospinal fluid. Now there are projections that actually project from the arachnoid matter into the dura sinuses. Those projections are known as arachnoid villi, and the arachnoid villi actually herniates into the dura sinuses to become what is called the arachnoid granulations. These are the arachnoid granulations that filter CSF into the circulation via the dura sinuses. Now it is important to know that the dura mater sends inward what it refers to as the dura septum. Now we normally have four dura septum. The first one is called the vas cerebri. The vas cerebri. The second one is actually called the tentorium cerebelli, and then we also have the vas cerebelli, and then we have another one that's called diaphragma cella. Now the vas cerebri anteriorly extends from the crista galli, and then posteriorly it lies on the tentorium cerebelli, it lies on the superior surface of the tentorium cerebelli, and then of course the vas cerebri separates the two cerebral hemispheres, and in fact it lies in the longitudinal fissure of the brain. Now the next one, like I said, is the tentorium cerebelli. The tentorium cerebelli covers the posterior cranial fossa and separates the cerebellum from the occipital lobe of the brain. The next one is called the vas cerebelli. The vas cerebelli actually lies around the vermis of the cerebellum, and of course it separates the two cerebellar hemispheres. Now the function of the dura septum is actually to prevent the displacement of the brain.